first I'm gonna do this one. Okay, so I'm gonna first let me just start with the shape of the head. Now she's got a long shaped head, so I'm gonna say it's kind of like, to be honest, I'm gonna come clean, I think Kida is so hot. She reminds me of those kind of, a lot of people wouldn't really be attracted to this kind of thing. It's an acquired taste, but she reminds me of those 1980s makeup style, strange ethnic makeup. People like Iman or Grace Jones, or those kind of 80s, weird, strange 80s things. And I really, really, dig this character. So thank you, Dylan, for asking me to make a drawing of it. So let me start, okay, by talking about the facial area. She doesn't appear to have a particularly long, she's got a long head, but her upper portion, she's got a big chin, okay? So that's why I think not many people would agree with me that she's super hot, but I find her hotter than almost most of the Disney princesses. Just as my tastes, okay? Not to everybody's tastes. So she's got a big chin, okay, which some would think is quite masculine, and she's got a one eye width apart. Now I'll talk about the eyes. So the eyes have got this straight aspect along the top. She's very cat-like, like that. So he's got this straight aspect along the top, which come down like this to give this very cat-like tear duct thing, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Now here we see the nasal bone. So it's very ethnic. I remember there's an amalgamation of different Disney styles. Like I remember the notes in Mulan when they were talking about the Chinese characters. They would say that was it Li Shang? Okay, I can't remember. They would say that, I used to like him because they said he was a mix between Bruce Lee and Clint Eastwood. They would always talk about how this thing doesn't go in the middle of the eye like on Europeans. It would go at the base of the eye line and come, and they would do something like this to create the shape of the face. I'm going from memory here, okay, but I absolutely loved the film Mulan when I was a kid, or I was in uni when it came out, actually. So that's still a kid to me. But so there's ethnic qualities to this character. So the nose comes to the bottom here, and it's it's quite high, okay, and then we're gonna have, in line with the tear duct, we're gonna have the other side of the nose is gonna come out here like this, and the other one is in line with that, like that. So that comes straight down, and I'll talk about how to break that. Now this mouth is taken from Pocahontas, okay? So from here, okay, I gone and made that chin, but now I've made the diamond, I'm gonna have a better chin. So from here, this Pocahontas, again, the very ethnic thing. I always remember Glenn Keane talking about how the upper lip was very, very, a lot bigger, in Pocahontas, giving her that, guess the term ethnic. I keep using that term as if like, I don't know if it really is the right term, but it gives her, she's otherworldly, okay? She's definitely, got other features, not particularly European features. So she's got this kind of huge upper lip, which comes in here like this. Now what I like is the high cheekbone, okay? So which is why we've got the zygomatic coming up here. And the strong, okay? The strong jawline, okay? That's why I absolutely think this is an amazing character, because as I've mentioned before, I find her extremely attractive character, but as I'm breaking it down, it feels very masculine. It's like, how are they getting away with this? How are they how are they making a character so pretty and so gorgeous with such masculine construction. So you see this strong jawline here like this. Okay, so now I'll talk about the tattoo and things later, but now we'll talk about the hair. Okay, so the hair is coming over the face. Okay, and this is a trick that always works if you want to have the sexier look. Okay, but the hair is coming over the face in these three strands like this. Okay, that's what I can make out from this drawing. So this isn't the way the animator would break it down. This is just my deconstruction, the AMB deconstruction of what I see when I look at a character. Okay, now she's got a piece of hair again coming on this side here, and then if we go in line with there, that comes up to about hair like this. Okay, and then her neck is gonna come in here, and then we're gonna have her shoulders coming on either side here like this. So this is the basic shape thing that we have, and she's got big muscular upper arms. So again, she's powerful. I remember she's quite strong and powerful. Milo's a bit of a wimp, but she can beat him up no problem. Okay, when you look at the two, you can tell that like he can, but she seems pretty that she could, you know. Was that other one Helga? I think she could probably kick Helga's ass too, you know. Yeah, and Helga looked super strong. Okay, so that's the basic shape boss that we have. Now I'm gonna come in here, and I'm going to go and start drawing the character in on top. So eyes, okay, so we have this like cat-like eye, okay, which is gonna come with the lash, which is, now these are old school eyes. So you know, the way I like to draw characters like now, okay, it's a bit outdated compared to like what you see with the current trend of Disney drawing or that kind of thing. So I really relate to these kind of eyes. So we have this kind of shape coming here like this with a little round and this in here. So that immediately gives her this feminine, I'm going to use the word again, ethnic. I wish I could have a different word, but I just remember my brother, when I was a teenager and Pocahontas came out and we were all into animation, my brother was going, that drawing, it looks really ethnic, man. And it's just sad. It's just, I can't think of anything else but that. So I'm just going to say that. So now we've got one eye width apart there like this. And now we're going to do the other eye, okay? So the other eye comes in and we're going to have that tear duct, okay? Coming here like this, and the roundness. So maybe when you look at this, I never drew Kida much, even though I say that I found her to be one of the hottest Disney characters. The film came out at a point where I was more establishing myself in my own career and as an artist, and I'd stopped really wanting to, a bit like what I was explaining to you before. I'd kind of like, I was still a fanboy, excited about what Disney were making, but I wasn't really wanting to copy them. I was always trying to look to design my own work. But if you look at this, I would look at, my style was influenced by them. So if you look at her eyes, you can probably see a lot of, it almost looks like one of my characters, you know, because you could see where my influence is taken from this era of Disney. So then this is, you know, again, this, I absolutely love it. You don't see these kind of eyebrows anymore. So again, this is how I like to draw eyebrows. You see, if you look at my personal eyebrows, now they say never do eyebrows like that. Well, we're looking at Atlantis, she's got eyebrows. They say always, you know, try to vary the shape to stop them from looking. This is because the CG came in and everybody wanted to get more, you know. I'm not saying it's bad, but then don't fucking call this bad just because you want to fucking wank over this new way of drawing. I don't. You know, I like the old way. That's the way I like. So thank you, Dylan, for asking me to break this character down. Okay, so the eyebrows, as you can see, are quite straight. and they just break up like that. Now she's going to have hair covering there, but I'll draw the whole eyebrow in so you can see how that works. And she's going to have hair covering her nose and everything on this side, but I'm just going to put this in so you can see the drawing working in action. So that nose comes really, really low in line with the eyes, and then we're going to come out and in line with the tear duct. Actually, I shouldn't have gone over my construction. In line with the tear duct, okay, like this, we're going to want to hit that nose and bring it down. Okay, now this again, we're going to come out, you see, just in line like this. We're going to come out. This is a straight line, okay, which forms the triangle shape under her nose, but we're going to create some nasal definition just like this. You see, just nice little things in there like that. Old school, even though this film is considered one of the new Disney films because it was a lot later, you don't have, like nowadays, they really try to get in there and they really try to have the nostril and all this and the and all that. Again, the CG wank, you know. And people, I've had it, people sometimes look at my stuff and they think that I don't know how to draw like that. I do. I just don't like it. Get over it, okay? I don't like it. I don't like Glenn Keane's Tangled drawings as much as his original Ariel drawings or Mark Hen's Jasmine drawings. It's not my thing, okay? Right, so then the upper lip is going to come in here like this. I'm slightly changing a little bit, but you can see where I'm literally going up, mapped it all out over the construction around there like this. Okay, here like that. See, now you can see as I'm starting to build the features in, it's the softness. You see, this mouth is just this kind of sad shape like this. It's the softness of this thing that really brings the feminine out. You see this little dink? I've exaggerated it a bit too much there. This little dink at the bottom of the lip. So can you see how we have this big chinned character, but how beautiful and soft that face is? It's just, it's softened by those features. Now the hair is going to do so much to this, but I'm going to come around the side and I'm going to come out where this cheekbone is, and we're going to come and bring this in. Now it's going to be slightly smaller because I did raise the lip line a little bit, but we're going to come in and it's just going to be probably another mouth width, okay? So we're thinking mouth width in terms of thing, but it's still a fairly long chin. Can you see that? It's still a fairly long, and although it's square, okay, it's rounded. Now I'm going to be careful with my lines because this is what the difference is. Even when they squared Mulan's jaw, they squared her jaw when she became a man, but they squared it with a rounded way. It wasn't harsh like Milo's harsh lines. It's still a little bit squared like that. So we have that. Can you see how much personality is in that face? It's so simple but so cartoony, yet so much personality. Now the tattoo, okay, so between hair and hair we're going to just put a little circle like that, okay, which comes here like that. And then this, as you all know, is the zygomatic mask, which comes along here like this. So the reason why I drew two is you'll see that the first one, again, this is hidden by the hair, but we've got the first one just where the zygomatic bone is, okay? So you see, once you learn anatomy, just how much easier this stuff becomes. And then you got the second one, which is like a Nike. Okay, Nike could have sued Disney here for product placement. Or maybe they paid Disney for product placement. So you were constantly looking at the Nike logo on her face. Right, now again, so unfeminine, okay? I don't know how, in fact it's bigger, so I wasn't even doing it that big. Look how big her ear is, okay? Maybe I'm just the only one that finds her so hot, Maybe you're thinking, well, yeah, it's big and she ain't that hot, AMB. So I don't know why you're keeping on saying, look at this, how amazingly, But like I'm in awe that the character has got a big chin, big ears, square jaw, and is to my eye stunningly beautiful. Okay, anyway, so we've got this. Of course, in real life you can have that, but in cartoon, okay, it's very difficult to pull that off, right? So now this piece of hair, remember how I drew these 3 lines? So this piece of hair comes in the middle like that, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and rub that away to give it a bit more of the feel, so you can see what's happening. Now along here we're just going to break in and put one on the other side. Actually, this I've gone and done this a little bit wrong. This needs to come like this. Okay, so I made that line a little bit too thin. Okay, so that's a lot thicker. That's a lot thicker, and it comes that way. Okay, comes that way like that. And then here we're going to have this line here like this, and we're going to break this up on this side. Okay, just like that. So the hair breakup works that way, you see. And then on this side, you see the eyebrow actually goes into that. But anyway, I'm not going to be perfect. So this one is going to come hair on hair over this side, and then we're going to come in and start framing the face with the hair on this side. So you see, again, I'm not looking at my construction, so I'm kind of doing my own thing. So I've got to be careful because I've got to go over my construction. So because I drew that eyelash in, I wanted to keep it. Okay, but the hair covers the eyelash. You see, it's a very fiddly character. Very fiddly character. So we've got this coming down on this side, okay, which comes this way in, and I'm going to make it big and bold, and we're going to cut into hair on this side and bring this on the other side. So it'll be interesting to see the animator's notes when I switch from this, doing this study. But overall, though, you can see how the hair is built up. It's just literally built along those 3 lines that I made. Okay. Now I don't know what the top of her head looks like at present. Okay, if I remember, it's something like that. But I'm just gonna leave that because it's cut off. We're gonna look at that when we look at the model sheet. So you can see how the hair is really doing a lot to the character's face. So then we're gonna come straight down with this big sweeping line. And we're going to add our little hair tie. We're going to put in 2 lines here to give that hair texture. Remember how I was telling you guys to start making contours and textures with the line? Well, you see why? Because when we start doing simple lines like this, we want to start creating dimension. So we're going to come on this side like this and come over here like that, and swoop this down here. So that's basically the face of the character, which is the super hard part. Okay, and I have to say that I personally found that to be a more of a challenge than a lot of the breakdowns that I've done, even though it's drawn in a style that I said that see, even now I put this in the wrong place. I'm just gonna stick with it because I'm kind of happy with, like, I need to keep moving. So even though I said that this is drawn in a style of character that I feel comfortable with, like the eyes and everything, because it's so unconventional, it's so bold in the shape choices. Like, I wouldn't dream, of personally having the courage to even try it, and which is why doing these breakdowns, which if you listen to the stream earlier, what I was saying, now I'm going to have to hide this. I'm changing it up, okay, because that we actually see that we see all that. And I've gone and made that hair too long, but I'm going to keep that because it looks nice. So you see the big strong shoulders. So you see by doing these breakdowns how so much can be learned, no matter how experienced you are. Okay, so we see that I've got this hair. It's not, it's not 100%. This is too long. Okay, I've made it too long, but that's okay. The main takeaways are, okay, square, big chin. Okay, right? Big, massive shoulders. Big ears, okay, spiky hair, not, if I took that and put that there, that could well be a guy, Let's give him that whole anime hair vibe. Singing King of Fighters. So you see that could well be a guy. So that is one mad respect I have for this character. It's awesome stuff. Difficult breakdown. Difficult. So let's have a look at what the animator says. Akao knows exactly. That's why he's the warrior. He knows exactly which KOF it was. Okay. So let's have a look at exactly what Randy Haycock, if I'm right, it might not be him. So he says that, okay, I'm just going to do this. Okay. So he says that she is 6.5 heads tall, which is kind of like the usual Disney character proportion. Okay, well, I say usual, but it stuck in my mind because when I came out of art school and I was working on Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights, that was the rule. Okay, Davy, the Whitey and Davy, was 6.5 heads tall, and they were going, oh well, that's the usual 6.5 heads tall. So I said, oh, that must be the usual then. I don't know if it is. I'm just going by what I remember I was told. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're gonna, and these aren't all accurate, but I'm just gonna keep this organic. Because as I said, the sheet that I'm looking at is so low res. Okay, the sheet is so low res that I'm gonna have to be rough and ready. We've done the nice, fun, pretty one, so now I'm just going to be rough and ready when explaining this. So with the 6.5 heads tall, okay, he's gone and he's broken it down like this. So he said, okay, well, let me do this in another color. Okay, so he said, well, your head is going to be something like this. One head is going to be this shape. Okay, and we're going to have the eyes here. We're not going to concentrate too much on that. The nose and the big lip is going to be down here like this. Okay, and he's got this shape here for the head. So I was kind of right. I did remember her having that hair. And he's gone and done something like that. Now he's what he's said about the second head is possibly like the first half of the torso. Okay, he's got this kind of shape. He's got this kind of V on by the 3 heads. He's coming down here, and he's using a V shape like this. Okay, so he's putting you in this kind of nice kind of V shape like this, and in here it's like halfway along this head. He's coming up here to get the hips out. Okay, to bring the hips out, but then the hips come wider because we have the shoulders, and the shoulders come to this point here. Okay, which is going to be actually, if I look, he's actually done this. He's actually done it a little differently. Okay, so he's got this halfway along this head is where the shoulders come out. So it's even more masculine than I thought. Okay, and they're just gonna come straight down like that. You see, we're learning together. I'm studying from the Atlantis model sheet and sharing with you what I'm learning along here. Okay, so actually this is going to come, I think I've made this head a little too big compared to this, so that's why I'm coming into this error here. So I'm just going to make these deltoids here. He says basically along half of the head. Okay, so then along here we're going to come straight down. Okay, and we're going to come into half of the head. Half of this head is where we're going to reach this point. So that's where he's kind of got that going in. So this kind of marries into the width of this. Okay, so then there's going to be the center line coming down here. Okay, now in that center line, which is the width of the head, okay, like this, I'm being super rough, he's got this, which we have going here like this, right? So we've got that going down here. So we've got the head this way, we've got the feet this way, and on head number 4, yes, by head number 4 we are not on the knees. The knees are halfway through head number 5. Okay, so halfway through head number 5 we're going to come in to the knees. Okay, and the knees are probably going to be as wide as this, maybe, yeah, maybe as wide as this. So we're going to come into the knees like this, right? Now a third of the way, we always divide heads in 3. A third of the way on head number 6 we're going to come to the calf muscle area. Okay, and we're going to scroll that in like this, probably more in like that. Okay, so I'm trying to process this information and I'm doing it all live. Okay, so I'm just sharing with you my first thoughts as I'm processing it. So we're all learning together here. We're all doing something interesting. I think Dylan will really love this. Okay, so now we're going to come out and the hands are going to be halfway on head number 4. Okay, so the hands are going to kind of come around here like this. Okay, so we have something like this, right? So this is our first takeaway. Okay, now what we're going to do, okay, we've just got around here, we've got the hair coming here. We're going to do it again in a different color, and what we're going to do is we are going to draw it a little bit more to model. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm going to look at it and we're going to put it a little bit more to model, right? So I'm going to go and choose my favorite red to do that one. So now I'm going to take away the takeaway. So you see, repetition, doesn't matter who you are, repetition will now give me something to focus on. So now I know that we've got the head here. Now I know that halfway along here we're going to have, we first got to figure out this V shape which comes here like this. Okay, then this is going to be halfway along here, then we're going to come outwards to do the hips. Okay, which are going to be a lot wider, which are going to be in line with the shoulders, right? Then around the halfway of head number 5 we're going to come in to the knees. Okay, so I'm just roughing this. We've got the center line, and then we've got the feet, okay, which are going to be around about the width of the head, and then about a third of the way up on head number 6 we're going to do this. So already where we've processed this information, and this is where we're going to have her deltoids. Okay, her deltoids are going to come in, and then she's going to have her arm muscles coming through this point here, and then they're going to come out like this at the sides. He's really loose with the hands, so we're just going to throw the hands halfway along here. His hands on this are very loose. They're hidden behind the character, so we're not going to talk too much about them. Okay, right, so we've kind of figured this out. So now we're going to start putting in a bit more other details. So along this halfway point, that's where her brassiere or whatever it is going to sit. So it's just going to be a simple shape like this. On the center line is the middle, and we're going to go in there with this kind of thing, okay, holding it together, okay, and this is going to go either side. She's got a belly button, okay, which goes snap bang halfway between head number 3, okay, which goes there like this, and the shape of the hips come in here like this. Now she has a little bit of this, a little cheeky hair, but I'm not complaining. Okay, so we're going to have something like this. I think he's kind of made it like a transparent thing here. So he's put pants on her, or maybe that's the drawing. I've called them pants in England. Okay, pants and vest. I know that Americans call trousers pants. Okay, so now we're going to come hair and hair like this. And halfway we're going to come down on this side. So we're just going to create some garment shapes like this up to the halfway point here like this. Okay, and then from there on we're going to come straight down up until the upper third portion, okay, of the head hair like this. Okay, and we're going to bring that in. Okay, so you see how Animator start.
I'd rather leave that to the...
Shut up, Siri. I said C, and Siri thought I was talking to her. Okay, so that goes like that. So you see how the Animator starts to understand these things. We'll talk about that. The feet, he'll put like little kind of feet bone in here. But again, he's very loose with the feet, but we'll detail them in a little bit later. Like I will do a little bit of details. I'll take something of what I learned from this head on and try to incorporate it. It's a very, very low res image. Unfortunately, I can't really make out the head. So I'll do my best. So now this necklace is going to come around here like that. And with the head, from the takeaways that I had, let's see what I remember. I've got his very rough head, but let's see what I remember, okay? I remember, I'm going to have to do this my way, okay? I remember that we're one eye width apart, okay, the usual one eye width apart. We got very, very straight lines, okay? The nose, we're going to have to pick a side. He's picked this side. I really can't see anything of the nose, okay? It's just that, right? And then we've got the mouth, okay, with a big upper lip and the lower lip like that, right? Then we've got the eyes, which come on either side. Now ears are not even going to be included, but she will have big ears. Okay, so I'm just making this up because we can't really see that. I'm just going by what I remember. So we have a cleft in the head, hair like this, and then we have those 3, 1, okay, then we have the other one, 2, and then we have the other one coming down the side. Now I can't see anything of her hair. It's such a low res image, so I will bring my other drawing when I tidy it up just a little bit to try and put a face on there, but it's just scribble smudge, okay, on the model sheet that I've got. It's a very low res image, but that's okay. So I'm going to just take this here and I'm going to yellow it, and I'm going to go and I'm going to draw the character on top of it in a darker color. But first and foremost, I'm going to bring this hair to give me some kind of thing to work with the face. I don't suspect it's going to be too fantastic, but we'll see. It's fun. It's a fun exploration. So let me go right in. Let me bring this closer. Let me bring my brush size right down. So let's bring these eyes. Okay, so this is a front view, so it's not really going to add up. Okay, one. I'm going to bring this other eye like this. Bring the tear duct around, bring the upper thing, the eyes. This is all familiar territory for me, this eye shape with these straight eyebrows. It's like, you know, practically drawing my own character, so I'm not too fussed about that. Right, okay. Now that's about it. That's about where it ends when it comes to practically drawing. Right, so now I'm just going to put this line on the side, and I really am just going to kind of just do something like this. On the model sheet, he's just done something like that, so it's just a line there. You can't really see much, and I'm going to keep the mouth closed. So big. See, I've gone and fallen back in my own thing. See how scared I am to give her such a big foremouth. Okay, because of what I think won't read. Okay, so we've got something like that. Now here we'll have the tattoo. Okay, so the tattoo will sit at the side. Now I can't even make out the shape of the face on his model sheet because it's just too scribbled. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to just make it up. Okay, but on the whole, I think you will get a good idea of the model from the body proportion aspects. You know, I am really ad-libbing this head, so this is gonna come here. We're gonna come on either side for this. It's gonna come around here like this, and then we're gonna cut in here. And this, he's gone and have that going the other way in his model sheet like this. So his is going like this now, like this. Obviously they change it for the animation. So now this is going to come here like this. Over here, and one over here, and up over, and there will be, actually his is completely, when I look at the model sheet, this is touching her face now on this side, so it's different. So I'll try to fit in what's in the model sheet and make it marry, but it doesn't really go that way. So we got a bit of an ear on this side. Then we have this thing coming here, okay, which comes over. Now I made mine too long, so I'm going to just put it like there, like that. Yeah, so we'll have something like that. Then this will come straight down. So you're getting an insight into how, if I was hired, okay, to work on the movie Atlantis, okay, I would have a much better model sheet than this, okay, one where I could clearly see the drawing, okay. But you're getting an insight anyway, okay. A bad workman blames his tools. You're getting an insight anyway into what I would do if I sat down at my desk for the very first day, okay. If I was gonna be on the movie Atlantis, I would do this. I would try to familiarize myself with the shape, with the model, with what the animator says. Now he comes out here, he forms her muscles with these kind of shapes on the side here like this. Go around here, come up, around, in, and around there like that. So it's just kind of swirling around. That's what he has. That's how it works. Then this comes in, and the belly button comes around. So I'm literally just drawing around my original shapes now, with harshening those curves and straights, which is what he's doing. And he's coming in here, and he's he's really playing with the anatomy of the wiriness of her arms and her muscles. I think it's really nice. It makes her look very cat-like. Then again, we got those, teasing hips with this line here. I'm still not quite sure what this is. It could just be it could be some kind of dress pattern or something. The resolution is so low, I would have to go and look at some finished artwork of it. So I'm just going to leave some lines like that. I can't make out what that is, unfortunately. It's just a bunch of scribbles, so I'm just going to treat it as such. It's not a bunch of scribbles, it's a bunch of pixelated smudge, okay, because it's such a low res image of the model sheet. But isn't it great, okay, that we have access to model sheets of multi-million-dollar productions for us to study and learn from, okay? So there really are no excuses. So if you consider yourself to be a real animator or somebody that is serious about your art, the next time you go away to perhaps do a piece of fan art, okay? Now he's really brought this in. He's changed it from the other one. I like it. He's really pushed it. So the next time you go away to maybe do a piece of fan art, why don't you instead say, let's see what material I can find of this character that I want to do the fan art of. And rather than doing a piece of fan art, why don't I really learn something by studying the model sheet? Okay, I'm going to make the feet up here because they're just too small. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm just going to do my own thing because I really can't see what he's done. Okay, it's just too small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we are. Right, yeah, and you're going to learn so much, okay? Because you can never stop learning, and there are so many resources out there from the highest level of stuff that, it's just impossible for you to not have access to this kind of stuff. So Dylan Doster, hopefully you've really enjoyed this character model breakdown. I'm going to leave it. There's notes on the model sheet. You can Google it yourself. I'm going to leave it as that. It's been a fun little study, but I think I wanted to give you something different. So you got the usual, excuse me, that was rather vulgar. You got the usual AMB breakdown of Kida's face hair. But we did something a little bit different today. We actually really looked at the model as per how the animator suggested it be drawn. And we studied his model, his proportions, and his formula. And we pieced together a standing Kida from the front view of it. So it was my absolute pleasure to share that with you.
So AMB is the greatest archive anyone could ever ask for.
Of all the books I've read, of all the other online tutorials I've seen, this was the missing key.
Every video is like packed with this information that I would never be able to get anywhere else. So I would say this is the greatest resource for learning animation.
For me, AMB Animation Library is hands down the best animation learning resource that I've seen. I've tried all the tutorials, I've gotten all the books. I've never been able to really grow until I found AMB.
And it's incredible. I've only just begun it, but Like, I definitely am getting more from that than I did from my 1.5 years of college.
I've noticed definitely that my animation has improved a lot, and it's more alive than ever. And what I also like about this animation training is that you also gain real confidence.
Real Animator Training Library is unequivocally the best resource for animation, 2D animation, traditional hand-drawn animation that I've seen.
So I wholeheartedly recommend the A&B Real Animator Training Library to anybody who wants actual knowledge and actual applicable concepts to create their own animation and to move forward in the field of animation and to set your work above those that are just kind of teaching themselves and not learning these true, tried and true classic concepts.
A&B is motivated by his students' successes and improvements. He's a great teacher, a great animator with over 20 years experience in the industry, so you can't really get much better than that. I strongly recommend him to anybody.
I'm thinking on how to put in words what I feel about it. I love that. It approached me from my dream of becoming an animator. Every cent I paid in there was worth it.
I like that the library is structured. I can go back and watch it anytime I want to, and he's just got so much knowledge, and I just highly recommend it to anyone who's out there looking to learn traditional 2D animation.
So thank you, MB, so much, and thank you so much for all you've done for me.
So, are you gonna join the library?